Hi there, friends. This is Brent Hearis, productivity coach. The purpose of this entire channel is to get you into sustainable, high-level productivity. And today I want to give you 4 quick tips on how to not care what people think about you. So this would be for you if you care too much about what people think about you. So the reason why it is very essential to master this as a principle is because the whole reason behind becoming productive is so that you can become successful, so that you can actualize yourself, so that you can blossom into the highest possible version of yourself in this lifetime. And that involves you becoming successful in your own life and also developing your gifts so that you can offer your unique contributions to the world and make the world better in your own way, whatever that involves. It might involve art or business or creating a nonprofit or just, nurturing, loving, holding, listening, caring, any mixture of all these things. So we need to become actualized in order to be able to offer this to the world. So if we care too much about what people think about us, well, that's going to be a big wrench in the process. It's going to slow a lot of stuff down because our basic sense of feeling okay with ourselves depends on whether or not we can get approval. And so the quicker we can nip this in the bud, the better. So I want to share these 4 tips with you in terms of how to make that happen. So here we go. So number 1 is take on a stance of allowing people to come in and out of your life. So this is a decision that you can make right now. Allow people to come in and out of your life as they please. A lot of us, especially if we're kind of coming from a low self-esteem place, we're often exerting sort of a holding energy on people. We're trying to pull people in. We're trying to bring them in. We're trying to invite them. We're trying to entice them, or we're trying to force them or shame them into being with us. Sometimes we guilt trip people into, coming to our homes or hanging out with us, or we try to get them to invite us to their party or whatever it is. Sometimes we're in relationships, entire relationships with people where we kind of feel like we don't deserve to be in this relationship, or maybe they're only in this relationship with us because of our money or what we're doing for them or how we give them flattery or compliments or attention or something. So if that's you, what you would want to aspire to, the direction you want to move in at this point is only having people in your life that want to stay in your life with you as you are. So whoever you are when you're not exerting any effort, when you're just being yourself, when you're not trying to be anything or not trying to be in any way, whoever wants to be around you when you're doing that, those are the people who deserve your friendship, who deserve your time, who deserve to be in your inner circle. So it's much, much better to shake the tree and see what leaves fall out. And whatever leaves cling to the branches, let them stay. Whichever ones go, let them fall. It happens, for example, I have an email list of people that have subscribed. And it's funny because whenever I send an email, it doesn't matter what it says. It doesn't matter how many people open it or whatever. I track the statistics and all that. There will always be people that unsubscribe. No matter what, a minimum of 1 person will unsubscribe every time I send an email. And it used to bug me. It used to really bother me. And I actually went through a period of how do I make these emails so that people don't leave? And I realized that's madness. It's just such a waste of effort trying to hold people in my life. Way, way better just to be yourself, be natural, be organic, be authentic. Focus more on cultivating authenticity and let people go if they want to go. Let them come back later if they want to come back later. And just exert no effort in that regard. That's number 1. Number 2 is allow people to think and form opinions as they please. So much benediction comes from this one. There's so much freedom. It's a very, very cool thing. Again, this is a decision that you can make right now. Would you be willing to let everybody that you know, everybody in the world, have their own opinions of you right now? So people may think you're cool, maybe they think you're uncool, they think you're nice, they think you're mean, they think you're an asshole, they think you're just amazing, they think you're smart, they think you're dumb, whatever it is. Like, how are you trying to, like, unconsciously or even consciously to change people's opinions of you and manage how everybody sees you? So like, how are you, like, are you trying to like puff up your chest and be like confident, or are you, not allowing yourself to be seen unless your hair is perfect? Are you, do you refuse to share a funny story about yourself because you don't want like people to see this weakness in you or something like that? So you're paying such a high price when you're exerting your own effort, your own intelligence, your own creativity towards maintaining how everybody sees you. It's so much more preferable just to relax that effort over time if necessary, but to relax that effort as soon as you possibly can and let people just think whatever they're going to think of you. And then by extension, going back to point number one, if people are going to leave, let them leave as a result. Because again, the most important thing is you actualizing, is you attaining fulfillment, you growing into your next level of maturity. That's the most important thing in a lifetime, as far as I'm concerned. It's just my opinion, but that's really what I believe. That's really how it seems. And so if you are changing who you are and watering yourself down and trying to be a version of yourself so that people will think the right thing about you, wasted effort. Make a commitment now, right now, make a commitment to let go of that, to put down that effort, and instead to discover and cherish your own authenticity, to see and treasure the value of your own authenticity, your unique signature in this world, your unique offering, both in terms of what you do and as yourself. So let people think whatever they're going to think about you, and in general, let people have their thoughts. And if you're like, yeah, like Brent, I get that, I know that already, easier said than done. Well, it is easily done. If you're not able to easily do this, what I'm talking about, number one, letting people come and go, number two, letting people think whatever they're going to think, it's because you really do think it matters what they think of you. Like, it means that you're unwilling to let people have their own opinions. That's immaturity. That's childishness, to not let people have their own points of view. Maybe you want to stop somebody if they're like hurting somebody or doing something wrong on the level of behavior or action. But if somebody has a belief or an opinion in their minds, the most mature response is to let them have it. So do it. do it. Really do it. Let it go. Number three, stake everything on red / remember death. And what I mean by that is this. It's not that you want to go out and be a dumbass and gamble all of your money on roulette. So when I say stake everything on red, it goes from this idea of like taking all of your life savings, put it on red, so that you either at the roulette wheel, where you can either bet on like it coming at black or red, so it's like a 50-50 chance, and you either come out with nothing or with double of what you have. Obviously, you don't want to do that with your money and your wealth. That would be super dumb. But we never want to stay too far away mentally from the knowing that we're going to die. We don't want our own death as a lived knowing, like as a truth, the truth of our death, the inevitability of our death, the futility of any attempt to escape death, the utter futility of attempting to delay or not think about or put off or like, if I just don't think about death, it's going to go away. The futility of that kind of childishness. You want to keep death really nice and close. And you want to operate your life as if you were going to die eventually. As if you were going to have a moment where upon your death, you're going to have a few moments to look back on your life, and you look back on everything and you think about what you could have gone for, what you could have really went for, a risk you could have taken, but not like the risk to your wealth, but risk to your reputation, or risk, I'm talking about the risk of, I'm afraid of embarrassing myself. I'm afraid of disappointing myself. I'm afraid of doing this and it comes out wrong or it's imperfect. All of this stuff, it would be very sad to allow these fears to ultimately govern what we end up doing, the decisions that we make. It's much, much better to take on a mentality of a willingness to step into embarrassment, a willingness to step into humiliation, a willingness to step into failure, loss, disappointment, these kinds of things. If it means that you're going to take a real shot at doing the shit that you're here to do. It's worth it. It's always worth it. Really going for it. Making your art, making your project, your business, really going for the vision that you see in your head. Live your life as if you're going to die. All of the fear that would stop you from taking bold action into the unknown, take all of that, put it on red, spin the wheel, and see what you get. That's life. That's being alive. That's really living. That's what it means to live your life authentically. And then number 4 is take yourself seriously. You have value to offer. And this is what I was alluding to in the beginning of this video. Take yourself seriously. It's sort of a cliche to say, oh, everybody's unique, everybody's special, there's never been anybody like you. But the reason why it's a cliche is because it's true. It's because, like, take anybody that you know in your life, like take somebody that you know to be actually actualized, maybe like a successful movie star, movie director, artist, business person, intellectual, politician, whatever it is. And somebody who's like really actualized, like somebody who's really like kind of stepped into the fullness of their form. Like they've just really become great, you know, and they've been acknowledged for their greatness, and maybe there's like dispute about it, but there's still something magical and special that kind of comes out of them. These are people who really worked on themselves and went all the way in their lifetime, even if they're still young, or maybe if they're already old and they're dead, whatever it is. Now imagine if that person never stepped up to the plate, and imagine if that person never really went for it. And imagine if this person had such a low self-esteem that they never summoned the courage to really be themselves and to offer their greatest work. What a loss it would be for all of us. Imagine the world without that, without this person, without their offerings. It's like the world would just be less. It's like the whole universe would be diminished in a strange way. Well, that's you. Because it's not that there's something particularly special about these people, it's just that these people had the conditions to ascend into the fullness of their authenticity. So that greatness lies in you too, because you're a human being, because of your uniqueness. And even if it's not your destiny to become like, you know, super rich or famous and like everybody's heard of you and everybody knows who you are, that may or may not be the due course for you. But that special quality of having your gifts totally mature so that you can offer them to the world, it's there in you, and it's there in all of us, and it deserves to be seen. And we deserve to see that in you. The rest of the world benefits when you become great, when you really step up. So do it for yourself, respect yourself, do it out of respect for yourself, do it out of respect for us. Let go of any of these notions that the world doesn't benefit from you. Even as you are right now, the world benefits from you. The world benefits from your presence. It's a really interesting thing. You may not think so, depending on where you're at, depending on where you are with self-esteem. But any thinking, any thought processes that would lead you to believe that you're not valuable on this planet right now, I can tell you right now is false. I promise it's false. Your value is is dyed in your wool. It's what you are. You yourself are value. You can't separate that. Like imagine a tree out in a forest somewhere. Like, is that tree a success or a failure? Is it valuable or not valuable? Like all these questions are nonsense as far as the tree is concerned, because it just is, it just grows, it just expresses, it just becomes itself increasingly over time, like you. So any nonsense that you may have or that you may be holding mentally that you're not valuable or that you're wrong or that there's something wrong with you, I promise it's nonsense. And if you respect the world, if you respect us, if you respect anything, then let all this nonsense go and take yourself seriously. This doesn't mean to get stressed and anxious like you owe us something. It's not like that. But it's like, but take yourself seriously in that you should. That's the intelligent thing to do. Give yourself time and space to get your shit together. That's what I did. I came out of a massive depression, suicidal, useless, years of time that needed to go in, where like I had to be supported by people around me. Very, very fortunate to be able to be supported by people. And then eventually I was able to put myself together and onward and upward from there. So give yourself space and time if you need it. Respect who you are. Respect these gifts. So good. So that's it. So hopefully those will help you along in not caring so much about what other people think. Ultimately, it doesn't matter. And you know that. You know it doesn't matter. I get it. You've heard this saying a million times. It doesn't matter what other people think. But do you believe that? Because if so, if you believe it, then fucking act like it. Then really take a new bold step into your authenticity. Make a thing, do something new, start something, initiate something. Yeah, okay, there's a risk of failure and all that. Fine, right? But act like it. Okay, thank you for watching. Sign up for my email list. You should see links below. And if you want coaching, if you want a one-on-one session, you can have your first session for $5. It's an amazing deal. It's amazing coaching. Even one session, we can just get through so much together. I highly recommend it. And that is all. Take care, my friend.